Alright, let's continue up the tower. We're gonna go up to floor 28, and this time I have to give thanks to Kraken, one of my friends online, who is more than willing to give donations for Agnamu X and Sanada. Will prove to be super helpful. But from my side, I am going to use PLUM and Succubus, who I've transferred over to the Ascended version, because Ascended, she gets gravity barrier as well as flight. And the cool thing about Succubus, if you remember from the earlier videos, is the strike shot's still the same. The monster she first hits, she'll kick them up and do some fixed damage, and that will be helpful in the mid stages where you have to make sure to clear out the minions before they explode to death on you. And that's no difference here. You just got to make sure you hit those pinches and kill them in one shot. Luckily it's going pretty smoothly so far. But yeah, that's all you're doing. Make sure you take out the minions before that top right number hits 0 and you end up dying. Now PLUM is basically the Gen 2 of the Metal Exchange program. So the first season you had Olive, who you've also seen in these videos. She has proven to be very useful. PLUM is actually quite strong as well, and let's take a look at her stats, because she is not ever going to see the light of day in the English version, unfortunately. But as you can see, she's a bounce type with a bounce balance type, and her ability is flight plus laser stop. And what that means is basically if a laser ends up hitting PLUM, it will actually stop once it hits her. So normally it'll just go past and keep hitting others along the way. And since there's mech birds everywhere, it'll become super helpful here in that if it ends up hitting PLUM first, then hey, no problem. It'll stop in its tracks. And as you can see, her HP, her stats are pretty good. Mid HP, 20Ks, that's not bad. Attack is in the mid 20k range as well. And the speed is past that 300 threshold, which I always like to see. Bump combo is pretty cool. It is a it is a 100 bullet attack. And definitely helped in killing off PC-Jiiisan there. And just to make sure we can kill the minion, Succubus' strike shot is very powerful here. But going back to PLUM, her strike shot is pretty cool. It's every time you hit a monster, she will fire a laser towards the center of that monster. And that is every single hit. So if you can get yourself into a corner with PLUM, you can do major damage that way, which is really nice, especially for someone that's farmable via medals. And that was actually a very unfortunate turn. PLUM did not do much damage, so Agnamu's gonna have to make up for that. And while PLUM was up there with that weak point, just not enough to take PC-Jiiisan out in one shot. And this is crunch time. That machine on the top left was down to a 2, and now we've got the mine maker on the bottom left also at 2. It's alright, Sanada's got it. Who cares if you have to eat some mines? And then now here, here's the fun part. If you don't pinch with PC-Jiiisan, you're just gonna end up in this endless loop of slowly whittling down HP and then he regaining everything. And don't forget, he does have a powerful lightning attack after, I believe that's the top left number. That's the 2 right now. Could be wrong. Got really close there, hit Sanada, but not enough damage to KO PC-Jiiisan. PC-Jiiisan? Maybe I got the name wrong. Something close. And again, that pinch was just short. And yeah, now HP is becoming a little scary, so I think, yes, I'm definitely going to use a strike shot, because we have 2 attacks coming, so. And great, didn't even get the pinch, but we made sure to say bye-bye to PC. I don't know his name, sorry. I think it's PC-Ji, but I could be wrong. Alright, so now it's boss time. Now this, remember, you have to pay attention to the positioning of where they are. There is the main guy, which is the top left, is going to be transparent. The one on the top right now is basically a scorpion. If you hit it, you're only going to get 1 damage, unless I believe bump combos and strike shots will actually do normal damage. And then the actual one you can do damage to is on the bottom. Now if I got a pinch there, that would have been awesome, but that's unfortunate. And so now as they move, make sure you remember what's what. Right? You do not want to end up accidentally hitting the scorpion, or making sure that you can get past the transparent one without issue. I may or may not have forgotten that fact right there, because that seemed a little suspicious that I would go bottom right. Well, anyway. Now here's I guess the bad part about this party is that Succubus is pretty useless at this point. She can do damage with her bump combo if she's close enough to one of the real ones, but strike shot is not, you do not want to use Succubus' strike shot anymore. That was just basically insurance for the earlier stages, which actually saved my hide, so totally worth it. Alright, we got a nice pinch from Agnamut there, so I'm pretty happy about that. And PLUM getting nice and close to the boss, so dealing good. And there you go, there's that laser stop. Obviously it didn't, nobody else would have been hit, but it's certainly, in other cases, it certainly could have made a big difference. Alright, so we are going to the final stage. It's been pretty nice so far. Let's see, again, we got the transparent one on the bottom left. I guess I'm deciding whether or not I want to use the strike shot, but since she was powered down, I think I voted against that. Let's see, what is it? Transparent's on the bottom left, and you can know that by the if you have the cutthroat berry. It's the one that affects that. The real one's on the top left right now, and the scorpion's on the right. I'm not sure. I probably should have made that a little bit more flatter to do more damage, but getting stuck in there was not the right idea. I don't know what I was doing. And like I said earlier, you don't want to use Succubus' strike shot. You want to just make sure to try and do more damage that way. 700k, I think that's pretty respectable. And now Sanada with his Slayer, but he is powered. He's powered down, so probably won't do as much as I would have hoped. But we're down to the final maybe quarter, fifth of the health, so it's looking good. And now we get to see PLUM strike shot in action. Take a look. Right, so as you see, every time it hits a minion, it fires off a laser towards its center, which is pretty cool. I like that strike shot a lot. And I kind of enjoy that the metal monsters have these pretty cool gimmicks. And yep, we got PLUM and Sanada to finish it off with 28th floor done. I mean, this floor is pretty stressful if you can't get a grip of, if you lose track of what's what, so make sure you're paying attention very closely. But yeah, that's it for the 28th floor. We are trucking along. 29 and 30 are pretty hard hitting as well, I think. Well, maybe not 29, but we'll see how far I can get. So tune in tomorrow for floor 29, and until then, bye bye.